comes low, just a whisper in the night. I've seen it all, the deals, the lies, the fight. From my office chair, I watch it all unfold. I count the cost, but the city never grows old. The smoke in the air, the glass in my hand. I move the pieces, but I don't understand. Empire with careful hands and eyes. I never took a side, just made sure no one died. But something's shifting and it's starting to show. The city's grip tightens and I'm starting to know I'm just a man behind the glass, pulling strings. But even in the shadows, the city sings. I've handled the numbers, played the game with grace, but I've started to feel the cold in this place. I'm the architect, but the blueprint's getting thin, and the city that built me might not let me win. Underneath the city lights, the shadows hide the price. Loyalty's a currency, but it's colder than ice. I've played the game, made the moves, never took a fall. But even the king can't stand when the city calls. Flicker, I hear the sirens near. I've seen this before, but tonight it's clear. The deal's been done and the contract's in my hand, but the city's always watching, it doesn't understand. I've sold my soul for this quiet power. Now the city's knocking, it's my final hour. You think you're safe in the shadows you own, but the city owns everything, even the throne. The price of loyalty is higher than you think, and the city's waiting right on the brink. Underneath the city light, the shadows hide the price. Loyalty's a currency, but it's colder than ice. I've played the game, made the moves, never took a fall. But even the king can't stand when the city calls. City lights, I keep my badge in the glove box. The protagonist is a confident detective, walking on a line in an empty garage above the river, working for gentlemen in suits when the law can't be used. With the flickers on space, tension on a classy gangster gentleman, suitable for playlists that make you feel like a calm, dangerous man who moves in silence. Corner bent and warm, rubber band in the middle like a promise that got torn. Names written on a folded page, not the kind you say out loud. Then you shake my hand in corners, never seen by any crowd. I swore an oath in a quiet room with a badge and steady eyes, but this city pays in secrets, not in simple, honest lines. Some nights I'm the only thing between the wolves and open doors. Some nights I'm the number that they dial when they can't use the law no more. Radio crackles in the distance, someone calling out a code. I kill the sound, stand there, feel the weight of every road. I could clips the badge back on and pretend I'm still all clean, but put it where I always do when I step behind the scene. I keep my badge in the glove box when this city needs a sin. Lock it under folded paper so my hands can go all in. I don't wear it for the moments when the line just disappears. I'm the one who walks the middle while they cash out all their fears. I'm the law they can't acknowledge when the lights stop reaching here. When the suits won't stain their collars, I'm the one that must appear. You can talk about your justice, you don't stand this kind of near. So I keep my badge in the glove box and my eyes on that mirror, on that mirror. There's a revolver in the console, just a shadow in the dome. Smell of leather, cold upholstery, this machine's my moving home. Down below the river whispers to the pilings and the beams. Up here it's just me and choices, pressing hard between my teeth. Men in files are watching, men in alleys watch me too. They both know this license plate and the color of these shoes. If I slip, they'll call it mercy. If I stay, they'll call it wrong. So I mark my own thin border and I walk it all night long. I tell this city, you don't know me, but you lease my better part. You feed on every good thing, leave a thumbprint on my heart. I've done things I won't forget, but I won't sell out my core. There's a door I will not open, there's a name I won't report. If I'm standing in the crosshairs, I'll stand up, not disappear. I won't hide behind a title, won't pretend I wasn't here. When they flip to my last page and they weigh what I have been, let them write it plain and simple. I kept some monsters off their skin. I keep my badge in the glove box when the city needs a sin, so the man behind the metal knows exactly where I've been. I don't pray for their forgiveness when the street dust hits my gear. I just drive into the silence till the noise can't find my ear. I'm the crack between their orders and the truth they never hear. When the shadows need a spokesman, I'm the one that volunteers. You can judge it from your windows high above this concrete tier, but I keep my badge in the glove box and my coat inside the mirror, inside the mirror. carriage light is humming, one dim stripe above my head. Metal frame is rocking like it's counting what I said. Ticket folded in my wallet, stamp one way out of here. Overhead the numbers flicker, stations dropping in the rear. And there's a coat across the aisle where your shoulder used to lean. Window glass shows only fields now, no more city screens. I bought that seat beside me like a promise I won't keep. Left it empty like the space where you and I won't ever meet. We used to walk in step, two coats down the same long hall. Same boots on the marble, same silence when they'd call. Briefcase swinging by your side, mine locked with one more key. They looked at both our faces and they only spoke to me. We kept the books in order, kept the doors all closed. You took the brighter favors, I took the deeper roads. Then the numbers started slipping, there were names you wouldn't say. I saw your fingers shaking when you signed one late that day. This city writes in ledgers that it never shows the choir. When it wants a man erased, it just turns down one more wire. I read the pattern in the hallway, felt it closing on our floor. Heard one knock already forming, that would come for both our door. So I took the last train out, with a seat across the aisle. Left your name pressed in the cushion, like a burned-in silent mile. I keep our secrets in my overcoat, our sins in folded lines. I'll be the one that disappears so they can't follow back our signs. I'm the shadow off the timetable, I'm the gap in every file. When they look for what we did, they'll see one face, not our style. If there's any grace in leaving, it's that you still walk that tile, while I ride this last train out, with a seat across the aisle. I don't run because I'm frightened, I don't vanish out of shame. I step off to keep the ledger from engraving both our names. I know exactly what I'm leaving, know the weight you'll never feel. Know I'm buying you a future with the way this iron wheels. If we ever cross in daylight on some small and quiet street, you can nod once at my shoulder, keep your words down by your feet. We will both know what was written, what this journey really cost. Two men with the same old story, one who left and one who's lost. So I took the last train out, with a seat across the aisle. Let your ghost ride in the fabric for a long and heavy mile. I keep our lies inside my overcoat, our truth in folded lines. I'll be the one they never find when they start tracing all the signs. I'm the name that left the city Freights roll by in style, that's just me. This last train running with your seat across the aisle. Last call on the speaker in a tired steel hall. Old clock over ticket glass barely moves at all. Paper cup of coffee going cold by my hand. Suitcase by my boot on way out of this land. Your keys in my pocket, still warm from your skin. Door soft behind me when I chose not to walk back in. Now this night train breathes like a beast at the curb. Number on the carriage and a goodbye won't disturb. Kept a small table by the window in the street. 2 plates going cold when I miss another meat. Phone face glowing on the counter like a silent fight. My name on the screen, no answer all night. I called it business when I stayed with this game. Never said I was choosing the life over your name. Every dinner I dodged, every stare you held firm was a line on my ledger with a final due turn. 'Cause love in this life don't share the same track. One pulls you close, one don't let you come back. You can't hold a soft hand and a hard coat tight without something cracking in the middle of the night. So I bought a ticket with no return. Walk his empty platform and I let it all burn. I don't crawl, don't beg, don't fall on my knees. I just showed her my choices and your old house keys. If this train rolls me out of the reach of your turn, oh, I left like a man with a ticket with no return. Seat by the door with my coat on the rack. Window showing smudged light slowly falling back. Letter on my lap with your name at the top. Ink waiting over where the truth wants to drop. There's a weight in my back, cold metal and fire. It's proof I've walked too long on the wrong side of these tiles. So I zip it all shut, let the carriage sway, let the tracks draw a line. I won't cross the other way. We were kids on a staircase in a narrow old block, sharing thin walls and the same cheap clock. You said one day we'll disappear past these signs. I said I'll get us there, then got lost in these lines. Now I keep that promise in the hardest form. Leave you safe in the light while I ride with the storm. So I hold this ticket with no return. Let the wheels roll slow while the past gets burned. I won't show at your door with a half-true face. Won't drag what we had through my kind of disgrace. If this night train cuts loose from the life that I earned, just remember I left with a ticket with no return.
Feels like a man they call run, make things disappear. Now walking out on his own name. Jacket folded brown. I write brother Bruce and slowly cross it through. This letter never leaves this desk, but I still write to you. You always like to stand too close to every line we drew. I kept the edges sharp and straight. The wild side lived in you. You'd laugh about the story while I wipe the traces clean. You called me ghost in tailored sleeves, the man behind the scene. Last week the number came. They named your street and named your door. No room for second turn. I took it like the others, said leave the folder here, and saw your face inside the file. I felt the whole room clear. I've been the quiet hand that lifts the pieces off the board. Measured every step I took, weighed each unsaid word. Tonight the ink is bleeding down the edges of your name. I fold you into paper lines I'll never send. The shadow with a suitcase, when the room is thick with fear. But this time it's my own name walking out that door. Motel key on the table now. I don't live here anymore. I've cleaned 100 stories till they nearly look like light. Now I'm wiping off my fingerprint and vanishing tonight. We once sat on a stairwell, counting cars along the lane. You told me if you walk ahead, don't drag me through your rain. I swore I'd keep the worst of it from ever touching you, but every clean and careful cut still throws a little bruise. When they came asking what you knew, I let my answer slide, gave them just a cloud of words, kept your face to the side. Still somewhere there's a hallway with your shadow in the light, and I'm the one still breathing, driving out into the night. I fold the page once down the middle, slide it under glass, beside the phone that never rings, to pull me to your past. Vending machine keeps humming by, the ice machine slow tune. I tighten up my tie like armor in this faded room. If some young man with hungry eyes stands where we used to stand, I hope he feels this warning, though it never leaves my hand. I'm the man they call to make things disappear, the last calm voice you bargain with when trouble's drawing near. But tonight I'm just a stranger slipping out of frame. Motel key on the table, oh no, no more waiting inside my name. I've polished every secret till it almost passed for light. Now I'm clearing out my shadow, leaving both of us tonight.
Like the view from up here, kid. All that glass and quiet air, the city laid out like a map, every light a little dare. You're touching that leather armrest like you're testing out the throne. But this chair sits on foundation made of names you'll never know. There's a chessboard on the table, couple pieces off the side. Not a game, it's just my habit, keeps my fingers occupied. There's a folder by your elbow, there's a safe behind that wall. Every story in this office ends with someone standing tall or small. So never turn your back to the door, keep one eye on the room, one on the floor. You want this life, you better want the war. Never turn your back to the door.
say you're good with pressure, you don't flinch when people shout. That's cute, but kid, in real rooms they just smile and count you out. See that glass on the desk there? I poured yours, I poured mine. Men who pour their own poison know exactly when it's time. There's a shadow in that hallway, there's an elevator ding. There's a man who swears he loves you while he's checking what you bring. I watched a brother sell a brother for the right anonymous call. He forgot to watch the doorway, didn't see who lined the hall. So never turn your back to the door. Keep one eye on the room, one on the floor. Shake every hand, but know what hand is for. Never turn your back to the door. Think I'm made of iron, 'cause my name stays off the news. Truth is, I just keep ledgers, and I pay what I can't lose. There's a briefcase by my ankle, there's a jacket on that chair. One holds things that move the numbers, one leaves nothing for you there. If I walk you to the hallway, it's 'cause I see something real. Not your hunger, I see patience in the way you watch the deal. But if you ever get that office kid, remember what it's for. You protect the ones behind you by respecting every door. So never turn your back to the door. Keep one eye on the room, one on the floor. You want this life, you better want the war. Never turn your back to the door. Never turn your back to the door.
Room 13 by the ice machine, buzzing down the hall. Tasty key on a silver ring, paint peeling off the wall. Curtains barely hiding that red motel sign, flickering last exit like it's warning me in time. I drop a folded map on a chair by the door, phone face down on a Bible in the drawer. Take the notepad with the logo and a borrowed pen. Write your name at the top, then scratch it out again. You kept a light in the kitchen for nights I came late. Never asked what I carried, just slid back the gate. I'd hang my coat in the corner, wash my hands too long. You would talk about nothing just to keep me strong. Out here it's numbers and faces I don't keep. Rooms like this where the secrets don't sleep. They call me when the story's already gone wide. I erase what they did and leave nothing beside. You dream in soft colors, I move in hard lines. You live by the seasons, I live by the signs of exits and engines and anonymous doors. I'm the man on the road that your world ignores. If you hear my voice from the last motel, it means the weight's on my name and I'm locking it well. I'm the one that they call when the quiet won't hold, when the trouble runs deep and the tracks get cold. If I ever send you from this faded red shell, know I chose you to stay out of last exit motel. There's a suitcase standing like it's ready to confess. Zipper half open, clean shirt, dark vest. On the desk, one envelope with no return line. Cash and small bills and a name that's not mine. In the mirror I can see just the knot of my tie. Everything else is a shadow I let drift by. I could turn this key back in, find your door instead, but I know what follows the road in my head. Oh, and every highway turn-off starts to look the same. Same cracked parking lot, same blinking name. I remember your laughter on a quiet back road. How you said I was more than the weight I load. Now this neon keeps humming like a distant train, so I'll carry this chapter where it can't touch your name. If you hear my voice from the last motel, it means the end of this night is a secret I'll sell. I'm the one that they call when there's no one to tell, and I'm gone before daylight leaves a trace where I fell. If the only address on the line that I spell is yours, it won't be from the last exit motel. Stairwell light flickers on the third floor turn. Tile smells like coffee and old paper burn. The locker room empty, just my shadow on the wall. Badge in the middle, jacket on the stall.
Just little favors for the things I don't quote. Out past the glass doors where the night air hits. Parking levels stacked like a deck of bad tricks. Never should have rolled that some cold men wore while good ones got sold. Changed a line in a statement, dropped a name off a list, took midnight calls where the truth went miss. There's a notebook in my drawer no one's meant to see. Crossed out days, quiet numbers that lean on me. I knew each time I stepped off the written track, every nod in the dark never walked itself back. But there's a line between power and rock, between guarding the gate and selling your own spot. You can bend what you're holding till it breaks like glass, or you can draw your own mark and refuse to pass. So tonight I walk these levels like I'm under arrest. Put myself on the stand, put my code to the test. I've got dirt on my hands and a gun on my hip, but I won't let this city on my fingerprint. I'm still fit in the alley, still a name they don't talk, while I carve in this concrete the lines I won't cross. Down on level 1 is a dented patrol. Same old unit where I first staked my soul. Car number faded, radio lights dim, still smells like the nights when the line been thin. Outside in the alley, vending machine hum, boots on wet pavement, low roll of drum. A black sedan idles with the briefcase glow. Not once turn away, let that easy money go. I remember a rookie in a clean blue shirt, thought the badge meant truth, not leverage and dirt. First folded bill felt like one small bend. Everybody does it, said a laughing friend. Now that friend's just a whisper in a caution I tell. I climbed the long stairway, he went down the well. So I walk this concrete kingdom like I'm under arrest. Ask myself the hard questions no one else will address. I've got shadows for partners and a past full of cause, but I won't be the man claiming his soul got lost. I'm still carrying secrets, still a blade in this cross. I won't cross.
describe it as glass and stone. Card light blinks once green, I ride that box alone. Mirror in the brush steel throws a stranger back at me. Tie straight coat, closed face, that's built not to be seen. Door slides, carpet swallows every echo from my shoes. Reception lamp still burning, desk empty of its muse. Boss office at the corner, blinds half closed on the town. I stand in the leather shadowed hallway, never once sit down. There's a folder on my knee with no name on the front, just a time and intersection and a note, do not confront. Pen line under one address, circle where the cameras fail. I move through this building like a shadow on a rail. Red exit sign is buzzing where the corridor bends tight. Cleaning card abandoned, wheels frozen in the light. I pass the framed diplomas, all the trophies on the wall. Men in photos shake each other while they never make the call. This city doesn't write me, but it breathes me in its lungs. Keeps my weight inside its concrete and its locked up tongues. I draw my code in quiet in the things I will not do, but it leans a little harder every time I pull us through. I'm the man off the record when this city wants it clean. No badge on my jacket, but I move behind the scene. You won't find me in the files, but I'm written in this town, in the hum of every hallway where the deals don't trickle down. I'm the hand that leaves no fingerprint, just pressure and a choice. When the gentlemen fall silent, I'm the one that gets a voice. You can doubt the names on paper, you can tear their stories down, but you'll feel the man off the record when this city comes around. Concrete in the parking level, paint peeling from the lines. Security cam is tilted, just a fraction off my side. Trunk clicks like a period at the end of one more job. Street above keeps rolling on, unaware of what I saw. Phone buzzes with a number I don't bother to assign. Short text handle, that's the only thing I ever have to sign. I roll up past the barriers, booth glass catching one quick stare. Attendant lifts the gate up, he's seen this car, this stare. I tell this city, you can use me, but you don't control my core. You can ride my steady footsteps, but you don't own what I'm for. I've turned left when they said right, walked away from certain doors. There were names I never touched,
nightstand, paint peeled off the number plate. Thin pen on a notepad, 3 false starts where I wrote your name. Boots parked by the door like soldiers waiting on a sound. Suitcase half zipped, everything I own still fits in 40 pounds. Vending machine humming down the hall like a tired prayer. Curtain breathes a little with the trucks that pass out there. I start to write, I'm coming home, let the ink just sit and shine. 'Cause every time I say those words, the road rewrites the line. You want a porch light, steady glow in one small town. I carry maps in my bloodstream, I only learn the way I never stay, I only pass through. There's a way I live and there's a price too. I leave the engine running low outside every room, so my past can knock and find an empty view. I never stay, I only pass through. Baby, that's my code, and it still costs you. Down a mug in my right hand, crack white, cooling in my grip. Neon flickers in the window, stains the tabletop and tip. Old man at the counter, stirring sugar like it's all he's got. I'm counting exits on the highway, when to cut and when to stop. Phone face down beside the saucer, your last message on the screen. Tell me when you're finally done, like you're asking what that means. Waitress wipes a ring of coffee where my mind forgot its place. I pay in cash, leave the change, walk out before I see your face. You're dreaming family pictures, frames along a hallway wall. I dream of vacant parking lots and doors I don't recall. I never stay, I only pass through. That's the way I live and that's a prize too. I leave the engine running low outside every room, so my past can knock and find an empty view. I never stay, I only pass through. This is how I keep my ghost off you. If I came back for good, I'd bring the stories you don't want. Quiet man with long memories, favors I still haven't bought. They would learn your simple hours, where you shop and where you pray. I don't hold a loaded history anywhere you plan to stay. So I fold this motel letter, slide it back into the drawer. Walk the hallway counting footsteps like I've always done before. I'm not running from who I am, I'm guarding what you've got. Sometimes love means being the shadow in the parking lot. I never stay, I only pass through. That's the way I live, and that's the price too. I keep the engine humming low beneath that moon, so the trouble that I earn won't ever point at you. I never stay, I only pass through. I'm the miles you'll never have to drive into. I never stay, I only pass through.
RV park, steaming on a chipped white plate. Neon over by the window buzzes like it's getting late. My jacket's on the vinyl of this corner booth I own. Phone face down beside me like it's carved out of stone. You can smell the old fry in the vents above my head. I'm stirring in the sugar, counting things I never said. Call me after closing time, when the open signs go dark. I'm the one who wipes your story till it barely leaves a mark. I don't ask about your motive, I just read them in your eyes. I can make a stain look harmless, I can dress a crooked lie. But every favor leaves a fingerprint they never see but mine. Yeah, they sleep like nothing happened. I keep moving with the spine. He used to sit across from me, boots up on the same red seat, talking about his big plans with the world beneath his feet. First it was a little trouble, then the numbers didn't match. I was called like a ledger loser, tape on Triple H. I kept his name in order when the heat was running high. Closed the metal briefcase while he smiled into the sky. Call me after closing time, when the open signs go dark. I'm the one who wipes your story till it barely leaves a mark. I don't ask about your reasons, but I hear them in your tone. I can make a mess look distant, like it never left your home. Still every favor leaves a fingerprint they never see but mine. Yeah, you toast another victory, I keep walking with the spine. Tonight it was a motel key left shaking in his hand. Said, brother, I've been slipping, this one didn't go as planned. I folded up the towels, said the lock, reset the scene. Watched his shadow in the hallway like a man I've never seen. There's a line inside my chest that only I'm allowed to cross. I can carry what you give me, but I won't become your loss. Hey, call me after closing time, when the open signs go dark. I'm the cleaner in the corner, I'm the quiet steel remark. I don't kneel to any master, I just honor what I've signed. If you stand inside my circle, you don't drag me from my line. Yeah, I'll walk out of this diner with my silence and my name. You can call me after closing, but I won't come just the same. Neon from the bar sign trembles on the office wall. City hum is distant, like it doesn't care at all. Door is double locked now, hallway cameras tilted down. Ledger open on the table, counting favors for this town. Your photo in a frame, tucked behind a stack of files. You were more than just a soldier, you were with me through the trials. Every column, every figure, always looked so clean and straight, till I traced the route that put you in that car last night so late. I'm the man who keeps it balanced when the streets run hot at night. I keep the blood off all their hands, but it stains every line I write. They toast downstairs like kings, but I'm the quiet, ruthless spine. I'm the shadow in the numbers, with your name on the ledger line. I remember backroom card games when we both were running broke, sharing one worn charcoal jacket, trading shifts and trading jokes. Then I learned I had a talent, turning threats into a chart. Saw the patterns in the payments, read the fear in beating hearts. Now there's marble on this desktop and a view across the blocks, but your chair stays in the corner like a question in a box. I signed off on that last deal, called the risk a narrow play. Now the radio keeps whispering that a car blew up today. I'm the man who keeps it balanced when the streets run hot at night. I keep the blood off all their hands, but it stains every line I write. They toast downstairs like kings, but I'm the quiet, ruthless spine. I'm the shadow in the numbers, with your name on the ledger line. I don't beg for any mercy, I won't claim I couldn't see. Every empire needs a bookman who keeps count of every plea. If the devil wants an audit, he can climb these office stairs, find my signature on pages where I priced out all our prayers. I'm the man who keeps it balanced when the streets run hot at night. I keep the blood off all their hands, but it stains every line I write. If this city writes an ending and it underlines my crime, I'll still stand behind my figures, but your face is on that
I stand here alone
platform's cold, trains coming slow, but I'm already sold. A life full of shadows I can't outrun. I thought I'd be free, but it's never done. All these streets with blood on my hands, kept to the shadows, did what I had to stand. The city's behind me, it's inside my veins. I'm leaving it all, but it's never the same. One last ride, but the price is too high. I traded my soul for a piece of the sky. I can't take back the ghosts I've let in, but tonight I'll run. It's the end of my sin. The train's pulling in, I can hear it near. The past calls my name, but I'm past the fear. I'll take my silence, leave it all behind, but I carry the weight of every crime. I can see the old house, the lights through the rain, but I won't go back not to feel that pain. I've closed that chapter, but it never ends in silence. I'm still the same man again. One last ride, but the price is too high. I traded my soul for a piece of the sky. I can't take back the ghosts I've let in, but tonight I'll run. It's the end of my sin. Elevator doors close with a soft gold slide. Numbers climb quiet while the floor drops wide. You step out into carpet that's never seen dust.
Walls full of frame deals that was signed on trust. Glass shows the city like a circuit at night. Desk lamp carving me out in a circle of light. I pour you still water, set the folder in between. Your reflection in the window staring back at what I've been. I started in basements counting someone else's cash, learning which smiles last and which tempers crash. Carrying briefcases through back halls and freight bays, trading my sleep for their secrets and quiet pain. Now I sit behind walnut with a pen in my hand that can move whole corners of this quiet land. But every line shining in that silver frame has a stairwell story that never took my name. You see the view and think it's just a pride, all glass and leather and tailored disguise. But once you sit where I sit, every knock on that door asks if you still stand for what you said before. Up here we live by a top floor code, where a single calm word can reroute a road. You don't have to shout when your phone can move stone, but the higher you climb, the more you stand alone. If you want this view and the weight I hold, you better bleed the price for a top floor code. Down below there are boys trying hard to look mean. Loud shoes, loud jokes, loud hands on the screen. Up here we stay quiet, let the numbers talk first. Watch who leans too far, who gets careless with thirst. There's a safe in that corner with no name on the lock, a watch on this wrist older than your first block. Both of them remind me when I lean in my chair that the drop comes fast if you move without care. The night I first walked into this room as a guest, I saw papers on firelight, shadows at rest, and the man at this desk staring past all this glass at the roads he had chosen just to make it last. He said, you can be feared, you can be rich, you can be known, but only your code decides who you are when you're alone. Up here we live by a top floor code, where a whisper from this desk can unmake a load. You don't need a crown when the streets know your tone, but the higher you rise, the colder it feels on your own. If the seat you own is the one I've owned, walking like a man with a top floor code.
I'm from the diner, throwing straps across it all. Coffee on the nightstand, gone cold from an hour ago. Suitcase by the door, like it already knows. I've got a cheap pen cutting through, oh, still notepad lines that make you feel like a convo. My highway living moves, I share most letters at the silent, write a word I just feel. You said a walk is always, yeah, who's tried to cross the door, even when I said I'd stay. You traced the map on my shoulder with your fingertips, said one day you'll follow those rules and forget my lips. I've done running who will run my phone man, and backlight meetings, quiet cars, number without a face. They like the way I vanish when the dusk gets near. I don't leave tracks behind me, I just fade from here. There's a knock in the distance that I know is for me. Not tonight, not this room, but it's walking these streets. You don't owe that shadow any piece of your days, so I'm stepping off your future in my own sideways way. I don't run, I disappear, like a taillight slipping from your mirror when the road turns clear. I don't beg, I don't plead, I don't shake with fear. I just close this door behind me till the noise can't hear. I'm the man on the highway with the code I keep near. When it's down to you or trouble, I make myself the one that clears. You'll wake to an empty pillow, but you won't find me here, 'cause I don't run, I don't run, I disappear. Vending machine humming in the hallway like a tired choir. Ice bucket sweating in the sink, wires in the wall and I fold these pages twice and slide them under the lamp, next to the key that says this room is just another camp. I see you in that kitchen, hand on a chipped white cup, window over the sink, daylight already coming up. Your glance once at the driveway, back to your day. You won't have to learn the faces that come when I stay. I've walked out of worse nights without losing my step. Watch men with louder names drowning debts they never kept. I've paid in scars and long drives and the silence of the wheel. This is the cheapest price to keep your world real. So when you feel that small space where my boots used to be, know it's me holding the line between my trouble and your street. I don't carve my name in doors, I don't stain your years. I just turn my collar up and let the exit take my fears. I don't run, I disappear, like a shadow slipping off the wall when the dawn gets near. I don't crawl,
that your neighbors never hear. When it's love against the life, I'll make myself the one with ease. You'll remember how I held you more than how I wasn't here. 'Cause I don't run, I disappear.
Back rooms humming with an old fridge buzz, neon leaking through the blinds, cash stack leaning on a metal box, ledger open on a crooked spine. You rinse a glass in a rusted sink, set it down by my dotted line. I swirl this drink till the ice stands still, counting minutes like I'm counting fines. My jacket's folded on a busted chair, pistol shadow on the folder rim, names and figures in a careful row, every favor with a hidden limb. You ask if I'm closing out the night, I smirk and say it's never done. In this town, one man signs the checks, another man just holds a gun. Every favor's just a rope with both our names sewn in the break. Every clean page that I turn hides another day we never pay. There's blood in the ledger, but the ink stays black. I keep your kingdom from slipping off track. You shake the hands out there in the glow. I move the columns where the real cards show. Every number that I write cuts quite under my skin, but I still hold the pen. I still choose the side I'm in. You remember him that killed with the fast right hand, laughing hard at the door. We called him brother before the tailored suits, before the polished floor. That night the hallway smelled like cheap cologne, carpet dark with a red ran wide. He pulled the trigger when the deal turned bad. I pulled the story back in line. I moved his name to another page, pinned the blame on a ghost on file, stamped the bottom with a steady wrist ball, his breathing for a little while. Boss shook my hand in the office lights, said you're the spine that keeps us straight. But I saw my brother in the bathroom stall, washing off what he couldn't stay. Every life I save on paper buys us one more loaded dawn. Every mark I make to guard you marks another piece of me gone. There's blood in the ledger, but the ink stays black. I keep your kingdom from breaking its back. You toast the night as the band plays low.
I shift the figures where the real truths go. Every number that I write cuts quiet under my skin, but I still hold the pen. I still choose the side I'm in. Now he walks in wearing quiet clothes, eyes gone harder than the man we serve. Forgets the diner where we split one plate, driving nights on borrowed nerve. He taps the desk with a gold ring hand, asks me how deep can we still dive. I see the kid in a second-hand coat, hear the engine and the county drive. I'm not out here begging back the past, I cashed that ticket years ago. But there's a suitcase by my office chair and a ledger I could let go. I could lock this door, leave the book face down, slide the keys by the empty till, or sit back down, draw one more line, make the numbers bend to my will. Listen friend, the power's never in the man who loves the stage. It's in the one who knows the why's hidden under every page. I stitch this life like a tailored coat, every seam with a secret thread. I could walk out slow at the break of day, let them balance with their own dread. There's blood in the ledger and it's mine and yours. I built this structure behind closed doors. You chase the spotlight, you chase the praise. I count the ghosts that your glory pays. Every number that I write is a promise I could rescind, but I still hold the pen, and that's where the real crown's pinned.
Neon on the platform flickers like a battled dream. Suitcase by the doorway, edges torn at every seam. Ticket in my pocket, corner soft from being turned. Coffee from the machine tastes like all the years I burned. Boots on metal steps, I feel the hollow carriage ring. Window holds the outline of the man I used to bring. Built a little kingdom out of back rooms and regret. Every quiet deal I made, this city never did forget. Kept my name in shadows while I moved the pieces around. Bosses shook the hands, I kept the pressure underground. Every bridge and hallway knew the pattern of my stride. Every door I clicked behind me turn a whisper into tide. You can love a crooked skyline like a woman you can't trust, but you feel it in your chest when it starts grinding you to dust. I'm the man on the last train out, leaving what I built behind. I don't run from any fire, I just step outside his mind. Let the city keep its stories, all the whispers, all the doubt. I'm the one who pulls the handle when it's time to cut me out. I'm the man on the last train out, with my code and with my name. If this place forgets I owned it, I still walk away the same. Ooh. Map above the window shows the line in fading blue. Stations I've been working through since everything was new. I remember quiet offices with blinds half pulled and low, phones that never had a number anyone should ever know. Now the only glowing dial is the clock above the door, counting down the distance till this life is mine no more. There was one small room with carpet worn as old confession booths, one steel case upon the table full of someone else's truth. I could feel the city waiting just beyond the hallway light, so I signed that final favor, closed my hand around the night. I'm the man on the last train out, leaving what I built behind. I don't beg for any mercy, I just step outside his mind. Let the alleys keep my footsteps, let the rumors fade to doubt. I'm the one who calls it over when it's time to count me out. I'm the man on the last train out, with my silence and my name. If this place rewrites the story, I still walk away the same. Oh, walk away the same. Last call on the platform and the vending lights on low. Paper cup of black coffee warming up my hand in the cold. Suitcase by my boot heel, take it folded in my palm. Station clock above me, blinking seconds off the com. Your message on my phone screen, one line asking where I am. I could answer with a story, I just breathe and let it stand. This is the last train with my name on the line. I leave the line, but but I don't leave my spine. Carriage door size open, metal steps ring under steel. Hallway lights keep flickering like they question what I feel. I take the narrow window seat, coat hanging on a hook. Lay the ticket on the table like a page torn from a book. I can see your shadow dancing in the glass beside my face. You said choose me or that darkness. I chose leaving in my way. This is the last train with my name on the line. I leave the life, but I don't leave my spine. There's a briefcase in the luggage rack with numbers wiped clean, and a younger set of hungry eyes now working where I've been. I won't drag you through that fire just to prove that I'm still strong. Real men know when to step sideways, not just die to stay head on. This is the last train with my name on the line. I leave the life, but I don't leave my spine. If you ever feel that midnight and you wonder where I've gone, I'm the quiet cold that chose you, rolling forward, moving on. lights buzzing over concrete and road. Ledger on the desktop, columns full of hope. You're downstairs laughing with your coat still on. Big voice echoing, handshakes running long. Up here by the window, I count what you don't see. Red pen circling the numbers that lean on me. Security camera blinking like a tired red eye. Crates stacked high like the deals we let slide by. Love the front table, glass and bright white wall. I trust side doors, service stairs, quiet calls. You walk through the lobby with a name they quote. I move through the freight bay with your fate in my coat. I've closed back doors after you kicked them wide. Turn down offers that would buy out your pride. Filed away secrets with your face on the bill. Kept your legend walking because my hands stay still. Every king needs a shadow that the room can't read. Someone counting slow while the loud men feed. You wear the spotlight, I wear the strain. Two edges of a blade with the same last name. I'm the man behind your name when the lights go low. Calm in the corner that decides who goes. If this city ever bowed when you walk through the flame, it's 'cause my silent footsteps walk in front of your fame. You can call yourself a storm when the night turns strange, but I'm the man behind your name. But I'm the man behind your name. See that folder on the shelf with the tape half torn? That's every time I took the hit, so your suit stayed warm. There's a drawer full of keys that don't fit your doors. Calls to back entries and settled old scores. I've watched you get looser with each easy win. Bring brighter kids closer, let soft talking. One day you'll forget what's under your throne, that every straight line up stands on someone unknown. We started as shadows on the same thin street. Same worn shoes, same hunger in our feet. You learned how to charm them, I learned how they fall. You played the big room, I studied the hall. Now your name's on ledgers in a neat gold frame. Mine's etched in the quiet where they never say my name. I'm the man behind your name when the lights go low. The hush on the staircase that decides who shows. If this harbor ever glowed when you called out the game, it's 'cause my steady hands pulled the teeth from its flame. You can stand on the balcony and drink in the praise. I'll be down on the dock keeping wires in place. You can call yourself a storm when the night turns strange. I'll stay the man behind your name.
There's a single shaded lamp over this old oak desk, ledger lying open like a wound I never dressed. Ice is holding steady in the glass beside my hand. You're wiping down the counter, trying not to understand. The names and numbers marching in a thin blue line of ink. Every favor, every secret, closer to the edge than you think. He was just a kid with knuckles, scuffed and crooked grin. Taught him how to count the chips before we cashed them in. Shared a booth for years behind this bar's back door. Split the taking thirds and swore we'd never ask for more. But the nights got loud and heavy, and the figures learned to climb. Somewhere on a busy evening, I moved his name below the line. See, the quiet man with papers pulls more shadows than a gun. I don't raise my voice in rooms, I just decide when something's done. I'm the man behind the ledger, where your story gets its weight. I can make a fortune vanish, or a small mistake look straight. I don't wear the crown in pictures, I don't stand beneath the sign, but the ink runs dark and steady with your life along its spine. Yeah, I'm the man behind the ledger, where the clean hands never tread. And I sit here with the silence of the living and the dead. There's a folded photograph beneath these stamp receipts. Two kids in an alley, laces loose on borrowed cleats.
He's the one who took the beating when I should have stood my ground. Later I repaid in favors, later I repaid in pounds. Till the night he asked a question I could never let him keep. Next morning on the balance, every line with him was deep. I didn't light the powder, didn't drive the waiting car, didn't see the last expression from the corner of the bar. All I did was slide a ledger to a man who owed me twice. All I did was turn a page and settle on a price. I'm the man behind the ledger, where your story gets its way. I can make a promise crumble or a quiet sin look straight. I don't take the toast or spotlight, I don't stand beneath the sign, but the ink runs cold and careful with his name along its spine. Yeah, I'm the man behind the ledger, where the clean hands never tread. And I drink up in this office with the living and the dead.
Big room with the frosted glass, bar light bleeding through the frame, coat hung on a bent old hook. Your nervous eyes keep tracking every shade. Ledger open on the table, ink still wet on someone's promised death. Chessboard by the ashtray, black night standing like a quiet thread. You say you want a real seat where the grown men carve the rules. Say you're tired of small hands counting change for bigger fools. I just tap the silver pen against the spine of last year's book. Every number here's a gravestone. Kid, come take a closer look. I move the pieces in the dark. You see the deals, I see the cost in every mark. Door latch clicks behind you soft, hallway laughter turns to hum. You sit stiff in a leather chair that's held better men than some. There's a briefcase by my ankle, double locks and quiet steel. Shadow of its handle paints a question you can almost feel. How I kept breathing when the old guard disappeared, how I walked out of the warehouse when the air was thick with fear. I say I don't dodge bullets, I just calculate their path. And I don't raise my voice, I let the numbers do the math. I move the pieces in the dark. You see the deals, I see the cost
in every mark. There was one kid came before you, same hard jaw, same hungry smile. Thought the world was just a ladder, every rung another mile. He mistook his beating heart for proof the rules would always bend. Now his name lives in a folder marked accounts that had to end. I slide that thin file toward you, let you read without a word. In the quiet ceiling, buzzing is the loudest sound you've ever heard. You look up and see the distance sitting heavy in my eyes. This is what a legend looks like when the shine is only lies. If I open you a doorway, you don't walk back out a boy. You'll be choosing who eats dinner, who gets listed as destroyed. You'll learn love is just a mirror that reflects what you can't change, and the faces in that glass will fade each time you rearrange. I won't beg you not to take it, that's not something that I do. But a code is just a cage if you don't know who it's built for you. I move the pieces in the dark. You see the crown, I see the blood behind the spark. If you step through, you'll wear that quiet on your heart. When men like us sit still, the world falls apart. I move the pieces in the dark. I'm standing here in the dark, the city still asleep. Got my hands on this blood, it's a secret I'll keep. The first time it's on me, but it feels just like the rest. No turning back now, got a taste for the test. You told me to keep it clean, said never let them see your hand. But there's a price to pay when you step into these lands. I hear your voice in the silence, feel your eyes on my back, but you don't know we're already down that track. I did what I had to do, but I don't like the way it feels. First job, first blood, ain't as clean as it seems. You said keep your head down, don't Don't let the city know your name, but I'm making moves now, and they all look the same. I'm rising fast, but I'm stuck in this game. Loyalty's a bargain, but the price ain't the same. I thought I'd walk away clean, but the shadows still creep. You can't erase what you've done. It's part of the cost. You can't get out once you're in. The line is already crossed. These sins in the dark, that's the price we pay. You keep walking that line, but the shadows never stay. The city will take what you got, then leave you cold, and you'll pay for those sins in the dark and the old. These sins in the dark, you can't hide from the cost. You're gonna pay it all, no matter what you lost. I'm standing here, waiting for you to see that the game's already won, but we're still not free. I can hear your footsteps, but I won't turn around. You think you know the rules, but they're already shot down. Loyalty's a chain, but the links are breaking fast. The life we thought we built ain't gonna last. I'm telling you, brother, you'll see it in time. It's all gonna crumble, just like that old line. I sit here and I wonder if it's worth the fight, but the darkness keeps calling me like it's always been right. These sins in the dark, that's the price we pay. You keep walking that line, but the shadows never stay. The city will take what you got, then leave you cold, and you'll pay for those sins in the dark and the old. These sins in the dark, oh, you can't hide from the cost. You're gonna pay it all, no matter what you lost.
You found me where I told you, at the middle of this bridge. Boots were slow on the concrete, hands buried where they sit. River moving underneath us, black glass with a pour. Street lamps hum above, like the tide of standing full. You lean on the cold rail, eyes bright, jaw set hard. You say I want where you head, every key, every yard. I smile like an old knife, it still hold a line. Say your name and you a kingdom that was paid for out of spine. I used to own these windows, every office with a view, every hallway, every back door had a whisper running through. My name rode up the stairwells quicker than the elevator did. If I nodded in a corner, something vanished, something slid. Chessboard in my study, pieces carved from darker wood. Men who never touched a trigger move the way I said they should. You see the shining stories, you don't see the tired eyes, you don't see the chair at midnight waiting only for a knock that lies. You think the crown is solid gold, the way you wanna feel. You don't see how long it presses just to bend a man of steel. You wanna walk like I walked, calm across each floor. You don't ask what kind of knocking kept me staring at the door. I threw my crown into the river, kept the steel inside my spine, let the water take the glory. I kept what still was mine. I don't need a throne or title for this city to know my name. I just stand still on this bridge rail with the same unshaken frame. You can chase that shining circle till it cuts into your skin, or you can learn from what I buried when I chose to step back in. If you wanna live long enough to see where all this leads in time, throw your crown into the river, keep the steel inside your spine. There's a groove across this rail lane where a man once lost his rein. Sword slipped between the iron, heard a sound like something cling. He was young and loud and certain, thought he'd never really fall. 2 winters later, different corner, there were flowers on the wall. I've watched brothers turn to strangers, watched a house go cold and thin, watched a woman close a doorway, never call me back again. All that weight rides in the circle, you're so hungry to impress. Every favor, every silence puts another mark across your chest. I'm not here to hold you back, I won't pull you by the sleeve. I'm just laying out the numbers that this water made me see. You can walk back to the alleys, keep your hands a little clean, or step forward past this railing
till the river owns your schemes. Either way, I keep my posture. I've already paid my due, made my peace with every phantom that this current ever drew. If you stand where I once stood, don't pretend you weren't warned. A man chooses how he carries every bruise that he's adorned. I threw my crown into the river, kept the steel inside my spine, let the current hold the stories. I kept what still was mine. I don't need a chair in offices where the new boys pour their wine. I'll be walking on this old bridge with the same unshaken line. You can chase that shining circle till it drags you from this time, or you can turn still breathing with a different kind of shine. If you make it to my age, still look yourself in the eye. You'll thank the crown in the river and the steel inside your spine.